What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Singles action from YGO Pro. You got me playing the Harambe deck versus this is like Divine Ultimaya Sylvans. That's, I guess, the best way to kind of describe the deck that I was playing against. Don't ask me why his name also has star drawing. People in my, they like to troll on my stream a lot, so don't ask me why he has that in his name. So anyways, this was my first take at the Harambe deck. It's 60 cards because a lot of my decks end up being 60 cards. I have a tendency to throw Pot of Desires into every deck now, so a lot of my decks end up being like 60 cards. I have restructured the Harambe deck a little bit, and since Tuesday stream, which is when we did this duel, I think the deck has gotten more competitive. It's actually not terrible. Like, it actually can hang with some of the like lesser meta decks. If you guys want to get a deck profile of the Harambe deck, just let me know and I'll obviously upload that. So this was the first duel. No, this might have been the first, or I think this was like the first duel that I actually played it in. So not gonna be the best showing for the Harambe deck, but I was actually able to do some decent things. And plus my tag partner, like, this was definitely something worthy of like the TV show. So anyways, let's see. He opens with Sylvan Charity, pretty good, able to stack his deck. Goes for Lone Fire Blossom, 1-for-1. Goes for Copy Plant, gonna make a level 8 Ultimaya. Sets a card, and then he has Crystal Wing, and he just passes. That in itself is a pretty good turn. I think Crystal Wing is one of the best synchros in the entire game. Just being able to Divine Wrath something, or just, you know, getting a massive attack game. And if you attack over like high level monsters, the card is really damn hard to kill, especially if you can't, like, if you're playing a deck that really can't special summon that much. And I think I was running Card of the Mize in this build too. It can actually be super good. All right, so you look at my hand, it's not super impressive. I set my Voltic Kong, set a Solemn Warning, and I just pretty much have to pass. Now, he activates Mount Sylvania. He's going to stack his deck. He puts Sylvan Charity on top of his deck, and then he activates True Form, and he just summons fucking Obelisk the Tormentor from the deck. And I'm like, at this point, I was losing my mind. I was like, how the fuck did he just summon Obelisk? Are we doing that now? We just summon God cards from the deck without tributing? We just circumventing shit? Like, what is going on here? It was possible because of this card, True Name. I think I might have just called it True Form. My bad. It's called True Name. I've never seen this card used before today, and it's very, very niche, but it works. Technically, it kind of works in Sylvan because of Mount Sylvania, and you can summon God cards straight from the deck. So it says declare one card name, excavate the top card from your deck, and if it is the declared card, you get to add that card to your hand. Then you can, then you can add to your hand or special summon one divine monster from your deck. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. You can only activate one True Name per turn. So since he had just stacked Sylvan Charity to the top of his deck, obviously he knew that Sylvan Charity was on top of his deck. Thus, he gets to not only add the Sylvan Charity from the top of his deck to his hand, so it's a 1-for-1, but he gets to summon a God card straight from the deck, and it can totally attack and all that thing. Like, it can do the damage and everything. So like, generally the turn that you use True Name, if you resolve it successfully, which you should, because it should be off of Plague Spreader or Feather of Phoenix or just playing in Sylvans, you can do a whole lot of damage that turn. So my Voltic Kong dies. I take 4,000 to the face. Now Obelisk does die because it was special summoned, and it's not looking so good for me. I activate Aeor Sunrise. I'm able to go for Utopia the Lightning. That'll at least take out Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is pretty cool because that's the biggest problem on the field right now. He misses with Sylvania, but it doesn't matter. This dude just draws like the nuts. He gets a copy of Miracle Fertilizer. He tries to use Ultimaya. I got a Solemn Warning that. I don't want to deal with another Crystal Wing. But then you see he ends up stacking his deck with Sylvan Charity again. Then he gets Hermitry off of Fertilizer, and you know that he just stacked his deck, so he's not going to miss off Hermitry. He ends up hitting Peacekeeper, which gets him a Copy Plant. He's able to go into another Ultimaya. By the way, he's drawing. Actually, he doesn't go for Ultimaya. This time he goes for Alce, and he does show me, he does actually spare me here. He shows some decency. He's like, Cap, I spare thee. Clearly, he could have spun my Utopia back to my extra deck. I'm at 2,000 life. He could have just killed me. So I'm like, thank you, my liege. You spared me. You showed me mercy. And I'm like, I'm going to remember that at this point. So I play my Pendulum Scale for no reason at all. I attack over his Alce, and then I attack with my Berserk Gorilla. But it doesn't matter. This guy gets another Peacekeeper, which gets him Lone Fire Blossom. Keep in mind, he still has Miracle Fertilizer, and I mean, he's just gonna keep going off. This guy mills another Peacekeeper. I think he plays 3 Peacekeeper because he's just ripping these cards for days. He goes for Ultimaya again, bust out yet another Crystal Wing, and at this point I'm like, all right, well, I gotta deal with another fucking Crystal Wing. But you guys do see I have Dark Hold. Now I tapped that Green Baboon, which was perfect because I can summon it off 1,000 life points because my Berserk Gorilla just died. I set my Plague Spreader, and he did whiff again off Mount Sylvania, but again, doesn't matter because he top deck Lone Fire Blossom. This guy is a god. He is the god of top decks. Once again, he's able to go into Ultimaya. This time he brings out Michael. He ends up banishing my Plague Spreader, then ramming in the Green Baboon, activate Sylvan Charity. That Sylvan Charity wasn't as good as the other ones. The other ones were just pretty nuts. Top deck the 8 Fighter, and I'm like, okay, get in there, Harambe. I kill his Ultimaya. He is kind of dead drawing now because he used a lot of his power cards. He calls True Name, calling Terraforming, he ends up whiffing. I end up attacking him again, I think, with 8 Magician. And then I set my Bottomless. Now at this point, we're basically both like, next attack is going to just win the duel. He mills his last Lone Fire Blossom, which was not so good. Then he activates Terraforming, and clearly he's pretty much dead at this point. Now here's the thing. I've got a decision to make. I top deck Card of Demise. Now, you know, if I use Card of Demise, I can't do battle damage. But then I thought about it. I was like, I could just win, or I could show him the same mercy that he showed me. Obviously, I choose not to win. So I activate the Card of Demise. And I'm like, I'm going to show you the same mercy that you showed me. He ends up dead drawing a super solar nutrients, and then I just end up, I'm just going to go ahead and kill you. But that was just entertaining. Dude, his deck was actually really, really crazy. Because, I mean, I think clearly he had opportunities to just kill me there. Like, if you saw the amount of times he was able to drop Crystal Wing, or maybe if he would have even not just forgot about Crystal Wing and just went to, like, Felgrand or something, like, I don't think I would have been able to get over it. You know what I mean? Because my Dark Hole wouldn't have killed Felgrand. He clearly would have just protected it, and I think he just would have been able to outgrind me with like really big monsters. But I actually played some Sylvans yesterday. The deck is like super duper fun. It makes me wish that maybe I would have played it when like Soul Charge was at 3 back in like 2014. But I thought this was a pretty entertaining duel, especially for my first duel with the Harambe deck. If you guys want to see the Sylvan deck, or if you guys want to see the Harambe deck, just post that in the comment section. I'll get those up for you guys. Thank you guys for watching as always.